Vinca temperatura diesen, en ik het juist before, ik deed het six van het van deze zijn zelfs. Wat ik pas ding dat estamos via. Het is niet weer. Se before, Isa. Perfect. This is a question because you don't need to be there. This was his in the sky. Just clear the sun, alternative in the clouds. And the treno, Sinise, Svix, Fast così via. Con i motorini non si è sensations. Ma il fatto che non si sta divertendo. Se vuoi un si usano mostri da formaggio e la gente famosa di un certo The second thing is about resilience versus Goland dell'anzianità. For me, that's in position better. Cosa? The rest is a position. For me, Bamba dell'anzianità. In fact, I had to feel like I'm because era lì superba. Sì, tomorrow I suppose from today. I can't get to my auto, and I want to see.